Hello and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Judy and I am a certified yoga instructor. And my channel is all about offering sequences, breathing practices, little yoga tidbits here and there that can maybe help you on your journey as well. So today I'm so excited. We are going to talk about Bakasana, crow pose. So we're going to dive into the pose. We're going to do some warm up. We're going to get right into it. So if you want to grab a couple blocks or sturdy books, and for your clothing, you want to either you don't want to have long sleeves and long pants. Clothing on clothing or skin on skin is a little bit harder for this pose. So maybe have a tank top or a t-shirt and leggings or shorts and a long shirt. And get ready and we'll meet you back on the mat. Starting with a couple rounds of sun salutations. So standing at the top of the mat, grounding down with the feet, reach the arms up, breath in. Exhale, swan dive the arms, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Step the legs to the back of the mat, drop the knees, lower the body down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. Inhale, last time. Exhale. Press back through table, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Pedaling out the dog here. Look to the top of the mat, bend the knees, walk the feet forward, half lift, flat back, forward fold. Ground down, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Grab the toes with your peace fingers and yogi thumb lock on the top of the toe. Release the weight of the head. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And release. Release the toes. Bend the knees, reach up, come to standing. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands, step the right foot to the back of the mat. Drop the knee, untuck the toes, lift up. Reach up. Exhale, plant the hands. Tuck the back toe, step back into plank. Lower the knees, lower down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. Lift up through table. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, down dog. Lift the right leg up. Step the right leg through, drop the back knee, low lunge, lift up, up. Exhale, plant the hands, tuck the toes, step to the top of the mat, forward fold. Grabbing opposite elbows, releasing the weight of the head, swaying side to side. Bringing the fingers to the mat and walking the feet out to the side of the mat with the toes on an angle from the heels. Taking a breath here, and on the exhale, bending the knees, sitting back into our malasana, our yogi squat. Maybe we bring a block under the hips, really working to open up the inner legs. Breathing here, pressing the elbows on the inside of the thighs. breathing, and planting the hands. Lift the hips. Bring the toes back in line. Slide the hands up, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Ground down, reach up, come to standing. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands, step the left foot to the back of the mat. Drop the knee. Lift up, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Tuck the back toes. Step the right foot to the back. Drop the knees. Lower down. Lift up, cobra. Exhale. Tuck the toes, lift up through table, down dog. Reach the left foot to the sky. Send the left foot to the front. Drop the knee, low lunge. Reach up. Exhale, drop the hands to the front of the mat. Tuck the toes. Step the right foot forward. Forward fold. Release weight of the head, swaying side to side. Coming to stillness. Opening the feet. Coming into our yogi squat again. Our toes are on an angle from our heels. And dropping the hips, sinking back. Coming into our yogi squat. And this time, we're going to reach our fingers forward. Really stretch through the back body. Release the head. And bringing the hands back together. Taking a breath in and exhale, forward fold. Bring the feet back underneath the hips. Sliding the hands up the shins, half lift. Flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, ground down into the feet, reach up. Palms to touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. So checking in with the body parts really used for this pose. It's really the hands and the forearms because we're going to be balancing on our hands. So we'll give a little bit more attention to warm up for our wrists and our forearms. So we'll just start doing some wrist rolls. We'll go one way and then the other. Just do this for a minute or so. It's really rotating that wrist, warming it up. Round and round. Now extending the arms out to the side, we're going to flip our palms up, make fists. We're going to bring our arms in like a muscle man on the inhale, and on the exhale, we're going to release the arms down really nice and slow. Nice, 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 slow. And release the fingers. Breath in, strong man. And then slowly, really engaging the biceps, releasing the arms long. Open up the hands, make fists. Inhale. Then exhale. Really engage, engage, engage. Nice and slow. Release the hands. Inhale. And exhale. Starting to warm up the forearms, the biceps, the wrists. Good job. So now we're going to really warm up the wrist. So we're going to shake our hands, shake that all out. Now we're going to flick our fingers like we're trying to get water off our hands. Flick, flick, flick. Keep going. So there's really not a lot of muscles in the wrist. The muscles are really in the forearm. So in the wrist, it's mostly tendons and ligaments. So we're starting to really wake up the forearm muscles, really lubricate the wrists, the fingers. Flick, flick, flick. Okay, now shake them out. Good job, good job, good job. Reach the arms up. Breath in and exhale, bring the hands down. So we want to think of jazz hands, like in the musical, jazz hands. So the fingers are spread nice and wide. So the fingertips are what really helps to glue us into this pose. So we're going to place our hands down and really grip the mat with our fingertips. But we're going to lift our fingers, but plant down the base of the top of the palm and the base of the palm. So almost like there's a little suction cup and your fingers are lifted. So your fingers are fingertips are gripping the mat. So you really have a good, strong base here with the hands. So imagine your hands are like suction cups. So your finger pads are stuck on the mat, the top of the palm, the back of the palm, everything. So it's like suctioned up. So just coming onto the knees and bringing the shoulders over the wrist. Start to come forward like you're going to lean over a pond and look at your reflection. So lean, lean, lean till you can't lean anymore. Break and then come back. So you can feel the hands are your barrier here. The hands are helping you to not come all the way forward. So you're having some trust in the hands and you're coming back. So we'll do that one more time. Leaning forward. Coming back. Good job. So we talked the wrist and arm action. So let's talk the shoulder action. So the muscles that engage our strength are the serratus anterior. So they're located on the side of the rib cage. So how do we activate them? So if we push the floor away like we do in our cat pose, they're engaging. So we'll remember this when we come into our crow pose, because we'll be engaging. So we've talked our hands, our arms, our shoulders. So let's just talk our core. So before we actually get into the pose, let's try the pose without the gravity. So we'll come down onto our back. We're going to bring our toes together and we're going to bring the knees behind the arms, bring the hands flat, and this engaging or imagining that we into this pose, just imagining being on the floor. So from here, let's bring the hands on the inside of the legs, reach the palms to the sky, and just do a couple, just work the core. We'll just start to engage the core, some core lunges reaching to the sky. Good job. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Maybe gently rock side to side. Bring the hands behind the hamstrings and roll up to seated. So I think we're ready to start. So an option here, you can have a pillow or a blanket if you're afraid of falling forward. You can always, or doing a face plant, you can always have a blanket or pillow just as a comfort. So I'm going to give a couple options of attempting and trying this pose. So one is just placing a couple blocks. Our feet are actually going to come onto the blocks or books. So standing on the blocks, and we're going to bend the knees, bringing our hands forward. So planting the hands, so doing the suction cup, like the tree frog, as you will. So the palms are grounding down. You can see a space under the fingers. And we're going to engage the core. So we're going to bring the navel towards the spine. So we're going to round the back. We're going to lift up and bring the knees close to the armpits. And we're going to just bring our gaze a couple inches in front of our fingers. And we're going to maybe lift one leg. Hello, Mikey. And then the other. So what we're trying to do here is stack the joints. So you want the elbow to be over the wrist. So maybe we lift both. Again, maybe we just do one at a time. So if you want to try that way. Another option with the block is to bring the heels together, the toes apart. We're going to bring the hands onto the mat, suction cup the fingers, and we're going to bring our forehead onto the top of the block. So we're going to lift up, bring our knees into our armpits or the back of the arms, and we're going to bring our forehead onto the block for some stability. And then we can practice lifting one foot and then the other. And if you feel okay with the block on the high end, you want to try a bit more before you remove the block, maybe bringing the block onto the mid-level. So we'll engage the hands, Hasta Bandha, and we'll lift up, bring our forehead onto the block, and then maybe we lift our feet. So we're bringing our navel to our spine, rounding our back, stacking our joints, maybe bringing the heels towards the hips. Good job. So if we want to try without the blocks, bringing the hands onto the mat, bringing the heels together, lifting up, nestling those knees into the armpits or the back of the arms, and just we're just gliding forward. So we're just lifting up and we're just slowly coming forward. See, my toes are still on the mat. So just gliding forward. So breathing here. Good job. So you can try that a couple more times, maybe in between just shaking the wrists out, giving yourself a little break. You're doing great. You are doing fantastic. Good job. You did good. You should be proud of yourself for trying that pose, especially if you had any hesitation. I hope you had some fun in trying it as well. So since we've worked all engaged all the muscles and did our crow pose, we're going to just come into some counter stretching just to relieve the body. We'll lower our bodies down to the mat and coming in, setting up for a bridge pose. So bringing our heels close to the hips, our knees are pointing to the ceiling and our knees are hip distance apart. We should be able to feel our heels with our hands, pressing our hands into the mat. On an inhale, grounding into the feet, lift the hips up, open up the chest, press into the palms, really engage in the glutes, engage in the quads. Breathing here, lifting the chest to the sky, then lifting the chin to the sky. And then slowly, slower than you want to, releasing the back body down one vertebrae at a time. Good job. When the tailbone touches down, grounding into the feet, grounding into the hand, lifting up again. Maybe this time we clasp our hands underneath the body, coming onto the back of the arms, really engaging. Maybe we can open up a little bit more with our hands clasped, really pressing into our forearms, pressing into our hands, opening up here. Remembering to breathe. And if your hands are clasped, releasing the clasp, lowering down one vertebrae at a time. Good job. When the tailbone touches down, hugging the knees in towards the chest. Clasping your shins with your hands, really hugging your thighs towards the chest, maybe bringing some gentle rocking from side to side, giving your lumbar, your lower part of your spine, a gentle massage. Releasing the grasp, bringing the arms out to goalpost arms, out to the side, so they're on the mat. Taking a breath in, and on the exhale, just twisting, dropping the legs over to the right. Adjusting your shoulders, bringing your gaze to the ceiling, maybe bringing your right hand on the top of your right thigh. Maybe bring the gaze over to the left. Starting to twist out the spine. And releasing that thigh and leading with that left thigh, coming back up to center. Taking a breath in and slowly twisting over to your left. The same option here. Maybe that left hand comes onto the top of the right thigh, the side of the right thigh, the gaze to the ceiling, or maybe over to the right. And bringing the gaze back to the ceiling, releasing that right thigh and leading with the right thigh, coming back up to center. Bringing the hands onto the knees, pressing the knees away and opening up. Just doing a couple knee circles, opening up the hips here as well. Releasing the hips. And then we'll go the opposite direction. Good job. Hugging the knees in towards the chest and lifting the head, bringing the nose towards the knees, coming into a tiny little ball. Taking a breath here. And on the exhale, releasing the limbs, releasing the legs, releasing the arms, coming into a mini savasana. So just releasing the facial muscles, relaxing the jaw. Just releasing the breath. Lifting the chest up and letting the shoulder blades release beneath you like angel wings. Relaxing the elbows, the wrists, and the fingers. Letting the back body release and melt down into the mat. Letting the hips feel heavy. Relaxing the knees, the ankles, and the toes, and just giving yourself permission to just be still. Giving your body thanks. And slowly bringing some wiggles into the fingers and the toes. Turning the head from side to side. Reaching the arms overhead, stretching through the fingers and the toes like a first morning stretch. And hugging the knees in towards the chest. Letting the knees come to the side and pressing ourselves up. I hope you enjoyed this workshop on Bakasana, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Let's take our hands to the side body. Take a nice inhale breath in. Breathe in all the love and energy. Bring the palms to touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. Bring the chin to the chest. Take a nice breath here. Thanking yourself for trying this pose. If maybe you were a little hesitant or afraid, it's always a beautiful thing to learn something new, to try, to engage the playfulness of, remember when we were a child, we would try anything. If we fell, we got up, and that's how we learned. So it's always a beautiful thing to always keep that inner child. So bringing the knuckles of the thumb to our third eye, taking another breath in, and exhale, bowing forward. Namaste.